Yeah. Although I had an editor's note, I had to mention that for the intro of 163, you labeled it 162. I was just like, wait, I had to go back and double check. I made sure I worked on the proper episode instead of uploading the same one twice.
Pretty
And
sure that didn't happen.
no, it didn't.
That's part of your job. That's in the producing title, right
Oh,
under there.
man.
I think one time I said something completely wrong about it was Mandy's episode
Uh-huh.
where I don't know if she's in Memphis. I was like,
Yeah, she's in Tennessee.
yeah, but I said the wrong. I was like, she's from something Tennessee, and it was wrong. I said something else.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but Jaden did like a voiceover where he was like Memphis, and like as I was, I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure.
I wanted to do that,
Mandy,
but
we love you.
I don't know. Well, I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right. Oh, we're live. I guess we should tell people.
Mm-hmm.
So do I share that link that you put in the group?
No, you shared this.
Oh, gotcha. I know how to do that. I'll go on to
Do you know how to share a YouTube video?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, Christopher, I'm not stupid.
I was just asking a question. That's all.
Watch me not know how to share it. Yeah.
And they're putting all those Proud Boy guys in prison for a long time.
I know. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, I guess I've been kind of like it's those groups are very mysterious, I think, because they're just infiltrated with informants and dudes that are maybe, once were very patriotic, but now they're kind of in like a weird world of
right
covering their ass, like really, in strange alliances and just, kind of now they're, yeah. So I don't know. So it's kind of like we've been kind of programmed not to feel sorry for them, but it does seem like in this instance, what did you do? Like one guy's like, I'm sure it's, I'm not trying to minimize it, but like the physical thing he did was trespassed and like ripped down a barrier, like a fence, something like that. So, which is like, okay. Got him, yeah. Then he took his face covering off later on. Just now he claims that he got carried away, but it's like 18 or 17 years for that. It's a little bit like tell me there was something. Tell me like that. The guy also like ran a pit bull factory,
right?
Like
cockfighting out in the back.
Like, tell me that he also like, was like a notorious, like a wife abuser or something like that. Tell me something more than like that. He was just, in a somewhat shady group.
I mean, when you think about the things that they let loose over here, like you can have heroin in the street, you can all of the things, you can rob stores and you don't even get fined. Like, go home, don't think about it.
I mean, let's say you were like a gung ho sheriff or something or prosecutor. It's like it sure seems like there'd be a lot of RICO charges, the racketeering, influence, and whatever. What is it? I forget. Conspiracy organization. Yeah, it sure seems like to be a lot of RICO charges when like all of a sudden randomly, 100 people show up at Nordstrom's and rob the place blind all at the same time. Randomly, like there's something. There was obviously some kind of there's some kind of organized crime there. It's like, oh, well, nah, just people trying to feed themselves. That's all.
The hard economy.
Yeah. But then, like just I think people are starting to kind of turn to where it's like, you know what, feel sorry for everybody and everything, but like. This is obviously happening so much that now it's starting to become a lot more expensive for me to get, to like shop, like, I got to drive a lot further. And now like, things are a lot more expensive. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know.
I said it was coming last year, and people got mad at me for being an alarmist. An alarmist. Like,
Well, I think the thing about
oh,
American culture is like it could turn around so fast too. It really could. Just we're very like optimistic, entrepreneurial, like resilient.
yeah.
Turn a corner and start a running. Like kind of society culture, good or bad, whatever. But I don't know. I'd say a change in leadership at the very top could make a difference. I don't know.
Let's
A lot of people
hope.
sharing their opinions about that these days. We'll see.
Boy, oh boy. Are they ever? And then some.
Been enjoying it, but thanks for putting together the rundown of our topics this week.
My
Yeah, thank you.
pleasure.
Sorry it was so last minute. I've been meaning I wanted to tell you sooner. Earlier in the week.
That's okay. Little
About
birdie
what?
said that that's
Oh,
yeah. Producing. Manny's producing.
cool.
There you go.
More like bossing me around, but I'm good with it.
I gotta crack the whip on someone.
I do better when I'm bossed around. hmm
Are you guys ready?
Yep.
All right, go ahead and start the audio, senor.
Oh yeah.
All righty, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Good evening, Endless Ranters. Welcome back for episode 164 of your Endless Ranters podcast. We do what we want, and we appreciate your support. My name is Chris. I'm just a suburban dad from North Texas, and one of your hosts for this evening. I'm joined by the soggy mom living in a crunchy mom's world, getting 7 miles to the gallon. Quana, how you doing?
Good. How are you? I think that's because they're altering with the gas. Does anybody notice that their gas mileage is less?
Oh no,
Severely lacking in my department.
Yeah,
but
they're
no, but
messing with the gas.
I did
They're
notice
messing
that.
with the gas.
I did notice there's 3 less macaroni in a Kraft macaroni and cheese box.
Yep.
I weighed it. No, I'm
That
just kidding.
too. That too.
No, I haven't noticed the
cheese.
gas. The gas is like,
Now you're gonna notice you're
they're putting
getting
80
less miles to the gallon.
Oh man, they're putting 87 or 86 octane in the 87 pump. That's not cool.
Yeah.
That's the shrinkflation, I think they call it, when they're taking the octane.
Is that what
Yeah.
it is?
Yeah, it's
Well,
made
we
with the
appreciate
plan.
you support. We appreciate you. What is it? Spreading the awareness about shrinkflation.
Sorry.
Shrinkflation and gasoline. Yeah, lowering the octane, altering the octane.
Yeah.
Another conspiracy uncovered.
We brought here for you first, everybody.
Yep.
Hey.
All right, it's Man with the Plan. It's producer Manny. What's going down with you, Mo Man?
Oh, killing witches, getting bitches. Another day in the life of Mole Man. Good to be here again.
Nice. Cool. Well, it's good to see
Stakes
y'all.
in the heart.
Tried and true method.
Okay.
Is that how you kill witches? I think that's vampires. Is it the same?
Oh, right.
Witches, you
gotta
throw water
burn the
on
witches.
them, or you throw like a land a house on them.
No, you set them
You
on
gotta-
fire. There you go. Or drown 'em.
Okay, yeah.
A drowning,
Yeah, burn
drowning
'em.
works.
Yeah.
I know my history. Drowning works every time.
Yeah.
Worked every time. Oh man, what a crazy world. I was thinking like there's just so many like heavy items, like big things happening like all at once, all over. And it's like, out of like maybe if there's a dozen things, it's very possible that all of them just kind of resolve themselves, everything kind of peters out. Or it's like, maybe any 2 or 3 of these things occur or gets worse, it goes worst case scenario. And it's like, you can be growing food in your backyard if you're lucky. like asking your family, like how the tomatoes going? Like not out of curiosity, but desperation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we'll get into some of them, but yeah, just like war and like
First, some tomatoes. That's the real
tomatoes. Yeah, it's crazy stuff. You know what I mean? We'll probably like jump all over them tonight in this rundown of topics that that Quana was so good to put together.
We appreciate the work, Juana.
Yeah.
Trying to get a little bit, more organized over here. I don't know.
At least this week.
Good stuff, right?
Right. At least for right now.
At least for
Like the next 15 minutes is gonna be
right here, right now.
tight. Yeah.
Give it a type 15.
Yeah.
Yep.
No. I think there was like, I don't know. Out of all those things, what do you want to start with? And I'll try to find like the,
I mean, we can talk about Tucker. I feel like that's a big one. He had
Oh
a
yeah,
big
that's right.
appearance
Yeah,
on
yeah.
our show that we love to talk about.
People got upset.
So,
I posted just a funny picture of the Obamas in the Adam Carolla podcast Facebook group. People thought it was a political post.
yeah, they got very
Just a joke.
upset. Hurry, please hurry.
Please what?
Sorry, we'll have to edit that.
Oh, okay. I was like, all right. I was like, am I supposed to be doing something?
Because
I don't remember.
Christopher, hurry. Sorry.
I don't remember.
I didn't know we were in such a
timeline here.
Yeah.
And scene.
Okay, yeah. So that was pretty wild. Good to see Adam Carolla's getting a lot of plays, although most videos I saw of that clip on Twitter were just of Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
And now it's it's very Tucker made the claim that Obama was a gay man. And
that was wild.
He kind of combined the smoking of crack and the being gay of a man like together as if like that was like that was always what he did when he was gay or when he smoked crack. Right. You know what I mean? Like those two things, but I don't know. It could have been different times.
Yeah, like, oh, you didn't know that was what was going on.
Yeah.
Which it was, I mean, I feel like a lot of people don't know that. Like the people in my community know that and they speculate about that.
I didn't really know. I really didn't
know about that.
I really didn't know that at all. No, I didn't know
leaked
that.
The information about his, extracurricular activities. Like, how did it get out?
I knew about it like I knew about it like maybe several months back or something when so there's an autobiography that came out recently, perhaps unauthorized, but not a biography.
There you go.
Of Barack Obama. And I guess, because it's like, he was a very, he connected with a lot of people, but he was a very manufactured senator, candidate, whatever, just everything was just perfect about him, as far as like the media and like culture and politics goes. It was like just checked every box for 60% of the country, whatever. So I guess some guy went back and wrote a book about his early life and like found that his like long-term girlfriend during college, maybe he had written letters to and like talked about fantasizing being with men and all this kind of stuff. And like the strange thing about that biography was, and the author, because he made the rounds, was that he said that the woman was kind of surprised that like no one ever wanted to interview her, and like this is the most famous man on earth, for a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the most popular politicians, alive right now, just if you wanted to poll people. He's not going to be at 80, but he's going to be, bet more than anybody else. But
so surprised.
Yeah, and they just never really were like, they were kind of, the point of that whole thing was like no one was really interested in his ex-girlfriend and I think it was a white woman too. It's like, just, wow, that's just like a very interesting story, like normally, right? Isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And white women are always dating bisexual men or gay men. I don't know.
Well, Tucker touched on it. He said that like the media, they said, no, you won't have any access to them if you mess around with it. Like the story got killed.
Yeah, is that it? Yeah.
They
want to keep it under wraps.
Proven with COVID that they kill stories, like that the government kills stories, that Washington kills stories, and that the media plays along with it. So
to be fair to be fair to those, really sensational claims that Tucker made, I mean, it's he was bringing it up in the context of this political machine that just is.
Yeah.
That just is, it's both left and right, just transcends all these things. This machine just will tell lies, will just make a narrative and then just stick to it and enforce it. There's ways that they enforce it. And, you can know things, but you get to be like aggressively like curious about these things to know them. I'd say that. Yeah. Like, aggressively curious, like to the point of you waste time. Like to the point of you waste time on the internet. Just reading bizarre stuff and trying to filter out what's true.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the point of all of it, though, like the AI stuff, and like there's so many things. Like, is this true? Is that real? Did he really say that? Just it's going to be hard to know what's what in the next few years, maybe months. It'll be hard to know what's what.
It's for me, it's like I grew up in an analog world. Like my brain was definitely fully formed, I think before I even had a mobile phone.
Of course.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah.
It's just a Motorola brick.
Yes.
But so like I feel like I'm not gonna have a problem telling what's real, real or fake. But like younger kids are gonna start having a real hard time, like because they just didn't. Like there was just never a time where they weren't plugged in or seeing something that wasn't already kind of fake. You know what I mean? Like the Polar Express movie, there was, like that kind of weird business. Like
Farmville.
Santa Claus is coming to town when I was a kid in like 1977. It's like, you knew that shit was fake. It's like, man, it's like, looks like cotton balls stuck to a freaking porcelain doll, like moving across the screen. Like, but like kids grew up on like Polar Express, where like everything looked weird already. And it was like, So.
Yep. Tom Hanks. Don't go down that rabbit hole.
He's at it again.
That is a rabbit hole for sure.
So I guess it's kind of a good thing that he said those things, and it was kind of sensational and got a lot of people, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, is the water still flowing out of the faucets? Like, like, is the electricity still on? Like,
right.
Everything's,
somebody said that they're trying to maybe push Michelle in to Biden's spot, and that maybe that's why they're trying to kind of tarnish Obama.
Did she ever express any interest in
a lot of people
as a candidate?
That's the thing. I'm not making that up, right?
I've heard it talked about a lot, and I think like whatever you want to say, air quotes, respectable journalists, even independents, kind of will bring her name up as like kind of like, what could the Democrats be imagining?
Right.
So it's like one scenario where they do that. I think that'd be pretty ballsy, because that's saying like, we think the other side, we know they're going to go ballistic, but we think they're capped at like 43 or 44% of the vote. We think they're like, because that's how they work. They're like, we think that at the very most, even if all these, this coalition of misfits that are going to vote for Donald Trump, if that's going to cap out at 44, and we think we can get 45. And we know we can get 45, so it's like, it's very calculating. I don't know what to say.
Guess time will tell.
But like so getting back to like what he was talking about was just, just the machine that just makes these things up. Yeah.
Well, he's interviewing Obama's brother on the 16th of September.
Oh man, that's going to be a hoot.
Date.
That'll be a hoot. Yeah, that guy's not a big fan. It's his half brother.
Malik.
Half brother that just like doesn't like, you can be like walking, you could be like at a Denny's, like, walk into the bathroom, and like there's some other dude that's like getting to the bathroom whereas you are, and be like, hey, aren't you, he'd be like, let me tell you a little something about my brother, Barack, and just start chewing your ear off about how he's a horrible. Yeah. He never misses an opportunity.
He takes no days off from
he never misses an opportunity.
His brother Barack.
Yeah. Almost too much. But at the same time, it's like, dang, that's something like, and I hate it. I hate doing it, but it's like, man, can you imagine? Just imagine if Donald Trump had like Remember Donald Trump had like a freaking, like third cousin niece, blah, blah, whatever, that wrote a book, and she's famous and she's, rich now because she's gotten a book deal, just talking shit about Donald Trump.
Yeah. Not Malik.
Yeah. Where's his book deal?
He's running a store
It's in
in
the
Kenya.
pipeline. He has a Substack actually.
Meanwhile, he is seriously running serpentine from the mailbox to the front door. For real.
No, he's running a store in Kenya. Like he runs like a bodega.
Still, man.
In Kenya.
Team Barack and Hillary, they got reach.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I didn't even think about that.
Oh boy. Yeah, pretty wild. Pretty wild. A
lot of stuff.
I mean, again, just like it's something that'd be like huge news if it was true, but at the same time, it's like, it's like the Seinfeld episode. Not there's anything wrong with that. I can be like, wow, this is like freaking huge. Not that there's anything wrong with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, ooh.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's so there's a Instagram page called House and Habit, and she has over 1 million followers.
Oh yeah.
She shared the story. Like she shared the whole clip. And so many people were exposed to that little bit of information on the Adam Carolla show. I just love that part of it.
So that I don't really know a lot about that channel, but I thought you were saying that she was going to be on Adam Carolla.
No.
Okay, so no, she just shared it. Okay, yeah. So a lot of people so would it be true to say that a lot of people who weren't really tuned in to much like hard, like interesting news until a few years ago, like this House and Habit lady, or it's a lady, right? It's like their first entry into like getting unplugged from the Matrix.
And then today she posted a picture of Barack Obama and George Clooney in that boat, and there's a picture of them in a boat, and there's a little girl in the boat, like a little Asian girl on the ground of the boat, like the floor of the boat, and they're like she shared the picture of them on the boat. So I don't know if she's going to go there too, but I mean, there's some interesting things that goes on with those
I'm sure
people.
it's just a harmless thing where the chef does all the sushi, on a small child, for everybody to, take, use their chopsticks, of course, to pick. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. That's I think I've seen a flash of that on the internet somewhere. It's hard to, I'm not going to really do a deep dive on stuff like that. So when I do see it, there's so many people saying it's true and so many people saying it's fake that it's like, I'm like, I really dislike the man's policies enough that I don't really have to, I don't need to know about that to dislike him anymore.
Right.
Right. I just hate him because, healthcare costs twice as much than it did.
Yeah.
This motherfucker's telling everybody, average family is gonna. I mean, that's just like, I'm still pissed about that.
They're getting back to healthcare.
Well, it's like he was like he just kept saying it. He kept saying like, I mean, it's like, okay, so if a lot of more people, homeless people have health, I don't know. I don't even know if it's true or not. It seems like there's even more homeless and sick people. No one's, America's not healthier. Last year, more Americans killed themselves than ever before, setting records. So it's like, you can tell me that a lot of more people are getting better health care, but it's like, you told me that it was going to be cheaper. And it's like the exact opposite.
Yep.
Not that I believed him, but it's like, I kind of thought, was pretty sure you're lying. And then now, like, then it's like, then it came out like he was still in office when
they're still giving out Obama phones. They are still giving them out in California. They are still giving out Obama phones. We're paying.
I see the tent all the time in front of the local building here. That has all the welfare programs and whatnot.
Yeah, we're still paying for people's cell phones for them to have cell phones so that they can. Yeah, it's a lot.
County building. There you go. That's what I meant. Sorry, I don't know why I spaced on it. Wait, quick question, Quana. When or how did you find out about House and Habit? Like, how did you get turned on
I
to.
started following her during the Johnny Depp trial, or
Oh, okay.
no, during the
that's
Ghislaine
Maxwell.
Maxwell trial. Those are very close together, so one of those two.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and she was, I mean, she's just kind of honest about it. She shows up, she pays all of her own stuff. At first, you know, she was like flying herself to cover trials and stuff, and she's just kind of like a grassroots journalist. And I mean, she's always on point, and she's funny, and she puts great music in her stories, and she's
All things that
obsessed with
matter
the
to you,
royal.
right?
Yeah, she's obsessed with the royal family, so that's a little for me, but everything else is chef's kiss. Yeah, conspiracy wise. And I mean, not really, like she's kind of, you know, she's like in the middle or whatever, but
I'm all for those types of shows that just are, you know, make people ask questions and do it in an honest way, you
yes,
know, just make people really
smart.
question
She's
things.
really
Yeah.
smart.
And then
Yeah.
dig and provide a lot of information.
Yeah,
Sure.
she has a Substack, and like she covers, like she's covering the John Benet Ramsey case. She's done some stuff on Britney Spears. Like she's kind of all over the board. Epstein, the Royals. Just funny and smart. She's smart and
Yeah.
funny. Two good things.
Well, with all these conspiracy theories and stuff, and you know, it's like, I mean, the point of the whole Tucker Carlson, Barack Obama claims, it's like, it doesn't really need to be true. It's the point of it is like, man, people just are so suspicious and trust these people so much that they could look at a man that has a wife and 2 daughters and be like, yep, he's into dudes, and she's, you know, we don't know if she, you know, there's people that question things about her.
Joan Rivers.
It's like, damn.
Joan Rivers died 2 months after she said that Barack was gay and that Michelle was
yeah, Joan Rivers said that. Yeah, Joan Rivers, comedian, famous comedian, said that Michelle Obama's man.
Yeah, she said he was a man. Yeah, he did.
Well, that's the level of like distrust, whether people know it or not.
That was just her classic roasting, you know. That
I don't know.
Yeah. Just very specific roasts.
She was very specific.
That she does about everybody. You know what I mean? She said the same thing about
I mean, did you ever hear the material that
Princess
she wrote about
Kate
you,
Middleton?
Chris?
Yeah, she said the same thing about Martha Ray. Martha Stewart is what I was actually trying to say. Martha Stewart. Janine Garofalo.
Right.
Yeah, she said the same thing about all of these women. But yeah, it's that's the level of distrust and unhealthy dislike, you know, for a certain class of people, not even like the specific people, right? Because no one knows you know, like these individuals, just like that class of like arrogant people that they're just full of shit. They got no problem lying.
It feels like that's happening a lot in our news. Are we talking about the news? No.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I'm glad that Tucker has that platform. I mean, we didn't get to talk about this because we weren't around last week, but he also interviewed Donald Trump, and I mean that got a couple million views.
Yeah, that's right. Was that there was the Republican debate on a Wednesday, and then Trump was on there that night. Okay.
Yeah.
Was that? Yeah, I guess that was about a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Trump interview was kind of muted, was kind of, you know, he was kind of subdued. It was just calm Trump. So it was okay, but it wasn't, you know, it was just it was I think much more to come of that, more like fiery stuff, firebrand.
Right.
I call it like car salesman type campaign
Tucker
ads.
Tucker kind of touched on that when Tucker was on Adam Carolla. He kind of touched on the fact that Trump is a little bit more laid back when he's not nervous, you know, or what did he say? Did he use the word nervous, or
when he gets agitated?
Right.
Yeah, he starts to like, you know, lash out a little bit. Maybe that's I think they're talking about really the debate against Joe Biden, where like Joe Biden, he just wouldn't let Joe Biden dig his own hole. Like he kept stopping him from digging a hole to get into, you know?
Yeah. You've said that before.
So
about Trump. Yeah.
But Yeah, it'll be I think Trump, if the election was like in a week or so, Trump could win easily. Easily.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's so much time. There's an eternity between now and then, and who knows what they'll pull. But yeah, he could
It's
win.
crazy how it's boiling up
easily.
already so quickly. Like that it's already boiling. People are already so heated about stuff.
I mean,
It's
the only
weird.
thing that's is such an unknown to me are all these indictments and like the trials and all that kind of stuff, you know?
Right.
Right.
So I don't know.
Hmm.
But
Mitch
oh yeah, so
McConnell.
Tucker, the debates, the Tucker thing, I guess even just more indictments. Oh yeah, like the last Georgia indictments, right? I think that was happening. I don't
Yeah,
know.
they're gonna televise it.
Did you guys talk about that on the happy
No.
hour
No.
last week? Maybe
No.
with all
No.
the
Get into
videos
it if
coming
you like.
out. Well, it was just there's kind of like a theme right now on the internet, YouTube, of African American folks kind of turn into the Trump side.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's something, it's like the algorithm too, because it just keep feeding you. You know, all it takes is like a dozen people doing it across the country, interviewing, black guys in the street that are saying they want to vote for Trump now.
Right.
Yeah.
And it makes it seem like there's millions, but I don't know. There's definitely some kind of
That's what your
change.
algorithm's feeding you. All the
I don't
hotheads.
trust it. Like if I see like a bunch of videos of that happening, I don't trust that it's happening at that scale. Yeah, good. Yeah.
Right.
For that concentration, I think that there's this, I'm on a platform, and that platform is the only thing it cares about is I want to keep him on this platform for an hour.
Yes.
So it just feeds me a series of things and it makes you think that everybody's doing it. But well, I mean, it seemed like in 2020 there were 0 videos of that. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
The algorithm wasn't coming up with anything because it was everybody supposed hating on them because 2020 was a rough year.
Yeah.
A rough year.
Everybody was marching around. They were
Yeah, I mean, when your country's
locked
down, I mean, and they say these things back then live when it's happening, they'll say conventionally wise things like, yeah, when things are going bad, whoever's in the presidency, it doesn't matter if you just want a war like George H.W. Bush. It doesn't matter like what you did a year ago. Like if things are going wrong, like you're get the blame.
Yeah.
So if your country's on lockdown, and even if it's not Trump, but it's your governor shutting down your schools, you're still going to kind of take that out on the top. So,
yeah.
But now Trump's in a position where it's like the exact opposite, where everything is going wrong for his, his opponent, the current president,
Yeah.
and the committee that pulls his strings.
Yeah,
There's got to be like, I mean, it's just, there has to be a committee, right? A committee of people, people in their 40s, 50s, maybe younger, but like fully functioning, adult brains in a committee, like that are just running his schedule, like what he should say, what opinions, what like legislation he should, think about, who he should meet with. Like,
did you see that lady run up on Mitch McConnell and say, "Senator," and she grabbed him like that? I mean, they're, they have people that are having to shake them into consciousness. That's crazy. I mean, Biden's just a couple days away from that, right? At this point,
I've never seen him have a reboot. He wanders around a lot and but I've never seen him have like a
trips that he had recently on the stage and on the airplane. Those with the reboots, that's it just happened.
Oh, that's what they gotta. Yeah, they got to do that with Mitch McConnell when he needs a power restart. They got to like mix it with him falling down or something. They keep messing up, and it's just like while he's standing in the middle of a sentence.
It's so sad. It's elder abuse. It makes me mad. I like that Ace was blaming the wife. Who was blaming? It was Ace that was blaming the wife, right? I always blame the wife. Like, why isn't she saying something? Why is she?
I think. She was the Secretary of Transportation. Like Mitch McConnell's is, he's a crony guy. Like his wife was the Transportation Secretary. under George Bush or Trump, maybe, or something like that. It's just like these guys are all friends. They're all the same, you know. I don't know. I also think like Mitch McConnell. I don't know his history, but if there was a situation where when he was younger, he'd probably be that aide who was propping up the old geezer and abusing him. So it's like, what's good, you know, whatever you call it, good for the goose, good for the gander.
Yeah,
you know, it's like, it's really hard to feel sorry for these guys that are just like using their position for their own good for so long.
Yeah.
And every now and then they do something that's really great, like stop Obama from putting in a Supreme Court justice, blocking that. Just, he was, you know, like that's his one thing, was he was like just a giant horse's ass. He was like, nope, not even going to meet about it. No, you know, not even going to meet about Merrick Garland. And then Trump was able to put 3 Supreme Court justices in. That was pretty crazy. Or no, was it 2? I don't know. But he stacked it. I don't know.
It's not working
Not the
out in
most
his
favorable
favor.
direction to send, but you know, stacked it nonetheless.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can tell you this from like a conservative point of view, like the Supreme Court being, you know, stacked, what do you want to call it? It's been kind of disappointing. They've kind of cut up. There's been a couple of big blows, but like, it's been kind of disappointing. Like some of the conservatives that George Bush put in or Trump have put in, they haven't really been like.
Well, that's what you would hope of a Supreme Court justice, that they wouldn't be, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
I mean, that's what you would hope. When they voted in the woman, everybody was so upset. And I was like, can we just give her a minute? Like, can we see what she's going to do? You know, maybe it will be the Handmaid's Tale, but you know, who cares? Like, let's see what she's going to do. She's in a very high position for a reason, right?
Yeah. I don't really know a lot about the last Supreme Court justice, but I don't know. You'd hope that they take that position very seriously. I mean, they are in kind of a very safe place. You know, they can write books and be rich and just call them as they see them, and no one can really do anything about it.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting. So great. It's all so great. Are the aliens coming yet? Where are they? I thought they were
already among us, man.
I wonder what they're gonna do. What are they gonna pull?
They're already among us. This is part of their plan.
Yeah, maybe that's what's happening. Maybe they're already running things and they're just trying to see how crazy they can make everybody before they.
Well, one of the 10 or 12 like storms or hurricanes that's brewing out in the ocean is the whole Biden and Hunter Biden bribery stuff and all these, like, it looks real bad, you know, even if you're not, even just if you're objective, it just looks bad, you know. Like, it's one thing for Hunter to get paid from a Chinese company, but it's like it's another thing where like all the money goes to like a dozen shell companies, like before it goes to Joe Biden's grandkids. Like, that's weird. That's a little weird.
By the way,
nothing will come of it.
Too much. Didn't you don't have no Zelle? You don't have Zelle? No. No, can't just do like a wire transfer to Bank of America. Like, no.
No Zelle.
I think it would be too much.
Just simple
to be able to process.
Like, you know, like suitcase full of cash would be simpler.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like really weird stuff. But like every week, more like really, I think, concrete things come out that are going to become more and more difficult to ignore. Like, oh yeah, our people are Americans aware that Joe Biden, when he was vice president, had like 3 or 4 extra email accounts with fake names. And they would use those email. He would use that pseudonym account.
Big Mike?
No,
Pete,
his were
Peter.
Like, his was like Robin Peters, Robin L. Ware, like real, like just all his
Those two names don't even go together.
Well, that's where I'll say, like, they were all his initials. I think all the names are his initials, but one of them was like Robert L. Peters, and at some point, Hunter, his son, had his father's phone number in his phone contacts as Pedo Pete. And that's what they're saying. That's where that
Sure
came
did.
from. Like so much of that stuff came from, I mean,
The daughter said it too in her journal. She said
Yeah.
that there was inappropriate showers with her father.
Yeah, that's real weird. I've never taken a shower with my daughter ever.
No.
That's really weird. Really
It
weird.
is.
Yeah.
Yep.
In fact, like
Yeah.
they just take baths forever, don't they? I don't know. I don't know what they do.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I
both
don't
of
know
his
if people are
children have.
aware. Yeah, are aware of this fact that he was using as vice president. He was using all these other email addresses that are just fake. So like, I get it. Like we have like at my company, like we have like different email addresses of our names, and mostly because of people misspell it, whatever. It's kind of a catch-all. But yeah, he had a bunch of fake names, and he was using that email account with a fake pseudonym email to send emails about business stuff. Like that's where Hunter was sending email requests to like, can we meet my friends that I'm doing business with? Can you meet them?
Yeah.
It's like, and I get it. Like you can go and say, well, what's the big deal? It's like, well, I mean, it's a violation of many things. It's illegal, first of all, to like lobby on behalf of a foreign country, foreign company, without declaring yourself a lobbyist for a foreign country or foreign company. But it was just all real shady. And it's like the worst thing that happened. Well, I think a lot of bad things happened, but I'm trying to like, steel man the argument that, okay, what's the worst crime that happened here? Like some bribery, $20 million,
Right.
Did governments get overthrown by, like that, like what's the severity of it?
Right.
Beyond it being wrong. But I don't know, it could be pretty bad because it's like a lot of the stuff was Ukraine. A lot of money coming from China, Romania, like Albania. Like, I don't know.
It's so crazy. And nobody's talking about it. No one cares. It's like,
But he was using a fake and I've like, I chime in on like different groups. It's just like, has anyone seen a reasonable explanation for why any government official would have like a fake email? I understand. I know why, because I think the thing is they make it. So if a reporter does a FOIA request, a Freedom of Information Act request,
it'll be denied.
Well, they have to say they have to give you some. They can't just say give me everything. They have to give criteria. So you'd say I want to see everything about any communication from Joe Biden using the Joe Biden, like his email address that has the word Ukraine and missile and virus in it or something like that. And they'll be like, oh, okay, we will plug that into the system for you. And it comes back with nothing,
Right.
Because they don't know the search. That's the trick. They don't know
to look for Peter Roberts.
They don't know Robin L. Ware, whatever his name. Yeah, they don't know like what email address to use.
Right.
Robin the USA is more like it.
Hey.
So my point was like every week, like more concrete stuff comes out like that. That I think that if that keeps up, like Joe Biden's biggest fight is going to be like not getting replaced because the machine's just like, we got to replace this guy, man. This like the machine's like, if we
probably why the Hunter stuff is even being discussed is because they need to replace him. They need to have some sort of something, right?
Yeah, that's one theory is like that. It's like some of this stuff is allowed to get out now, but it's like, I don't know. They tried awful hard to keep this laptop fake, and then it was never gonna be kept under wraps. Like it's like you can only keep like, like pretend you're not home for so long and, or like, lie about that for so long or hide it for so long until they had to admit that, it's real. And man, he really messed up with that one. I gotta say. Like,
who puts the crackhead in charge? That's so weird. Why?
They really did. Yeah. They're like,
yeah, they really did. I mean, it's just,
I said it before, like, it's like, I know I want to see the scene where Joe Biden's just like, Why didn't you just ask me? I would have bought you a new MacBook.
All right, to play devil's advocate, Hunter Biden's not the only drug addict running around in Washington right now, so let's keep that in mind. Continue.
Yeah, I'm
What do
sure.
oh, for sure. Yeah.
Probably
So
sex addict. There's a lot of pedophilia. There's a lot of addicts over there
that's a
doing
good
weird
point,
shit.
because if I'm Hunter, I'm pissed off because I'm definitely, he's the scapegoat, because there's a lot of other well-known and former government officials that were also on the board of Burisma.
Yeah.
Like I think the
And
former head of the NSA like some really big time like national security officials, like heads of departments that were also on the board, and no one ever talks about it. I guess because they probably were just like filled out the paperwork and said, yes, I'm working for this company, and that's why I'm here talking to you and lobbying on their behalf, is because I work for that. And they just did it, and they were just like, just send the money to just Zelle me.
yeah.
Like, I don't need 25 different shell accounts
Yeah.
to distribute this money to my nieces and nephews. You can just send the money you can make the check out to me. So they did it kind of legitimate, but they were also doing it because they were influence peddling, but they were just doing it legally.
Right. Hunter's also probably the scapegoat for all of the cocaine that's left around the White House. I mean, everybody's just throwing everything on top of him. Poor kid.
Yeah, I mean, I still my money's still on the Secret Service agents themselves.
Yeah.
They like to
Probably
party.
overworked. They feel underappreciated.
They like to party, man. You Google Secret Service, and like drinking scandal drugs, and it's like Google Secret Service prostitutes. Yeah, you'll find some stories. You'll find some stories.
That was like Googling that.
I was like halfway through that one when I was like, oh, Hunter. It's like, that dude's not losing his crack cocaine. Like, he's got that locked down in his pocket. You know what I mean? Like,
he's a pro. He knows how to carry his own stuff.
But some rookie agent who's like, I don't know. That's just my guess.
That's your theory.
There's a lot. Yeah, they like to party because they get to go. Like, I think that when they've gotten in trouble, like if the president's going to go to Brazil, like the Secret Service sends like 12 dudes.
Yeah.
To like 2 weeks in advance to just stay in Brazil and hang out. And it's like, once they scoped out the area and everything's clear, it's like they just got 2 weeks to just
go time.
Yeah, get to know the local, know the locals.
Local flavor.
2 or 3 at a time.
Yeah.
On an intimate
That's
level.
what I've heard.
Yeah, they like the party. And also who checks the Secret Service's pockets when they come in? Like,
I mean, it's a good point. You're right.
They're just like, yeah, put your gun in the basket, and then they walk in, and they're just like, hey man, I'll meet you in the East Wing Library. What about 2:15? Yeah, all right, I'll meet you there. Because the 2:00 hour, or it's like boring as boring.
A lot of downtime.
Yes. A lot of downtime.
So what's next up on the list, Senor?
I don't know. Where should we go from that? I don't have it in front of me.
We could talk about CJ's football game.
Oh, my son. Yeah. That's crazy. He had a scrimmage Wednesday night, and I swear, he's in 6th grade. It's 11 and under football tackle. And this dude comes out. He's bigger than me. I sent you guys the picture. I don't want to share it, all this, but it's like, yeah, this dude was huge.
Yeah.
He was huge. So I sent it to Laura, and Laura's like, this is not right. Like, you should go out there and stop this.
This game is rigged.
Like, you need to go out there and get that man off the field. But yeah, he was going at it though. He was just like giving it everything he got. When you're like 11, you can be gigantic, but you're probably not going to be that coordinated, or like
you don't know how to use it yet.
Yeah, you don't know how to use it. But he did throw. He threw. He was strong enough to, when he realized he could just throw. My son to the ground. Yeah,
he's like, what is this?
Doing it.
Who did you send me?
Yeah, that was
Find
fun.
me?
Yeah, football season's about to start. Or the first game is a week from tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
They're the reigning
Fun.
champions, so of their age group. So everybody's gunning for them.
Yeah. That'll be
They
exciting.
got new helmets this year. We got their helmets painted with like the old school Rams. They're the
Nice.
Rams, old school Rams helmets with the big yellow horns.
Nice. Very
it's fun.
What
nice.
position does he play?
He plays right tackle and also like defensive end linebacker.
Okay.
So they just started playing him on defense this year. So he's, you know, I'm excited about it.
Sounds like
Yeah, hopefully we
fun.
have good things to report. It's something else, man. These kids are out there. It's like 110 degrees out there. They're practicing.
Are they getting any water or asthma?
No asthma, no. Mostly just getting banged up a little bit. No asthma.
How about the dirt? Is there plenty of dirt?
What's that?
Is there plenty of dirt or dust?
Plenty. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty good fields and all that.
That's
It's
pretty
fun.
standard because they start, right after summer is over. So it's
Yeah.
pretty hot in the beginning. I remember watching Kylie's friends out practicing and just thinking, God, it's so hot, but it's good for them.
Well,
It builds grit.
tell you what, I'm glad you brought it up because speaking about dudes that play sports,
Oh shit. Here we go.
one of my favorite stories of the week was let's see, there's a guy, there's a man, I guess he's he would define him as a trans woman these days, who joined a sorority.
Careful not
Oh,
to dead
boy.
name this individual.
I'm not
Come
going to say
after
his
you.
name.
Right.
Yeah.
At the University of Wyoming, he got into a sorority. I guess the way he got in was like through some national thing. It wasn't like I guess there's something where you can kind of apply online.
Right.
Oh boy.
And he kind of got in before they were like, this chick's a dude, because
Right.
he's a
Yeah.
strapping fellow apparently, and he's displayed his manhood.
Oh my God.
The polite, it used to be the polite way to say it. His manhood to the other girls in the sorority house. So
Everyone felt uncomfortable.
they sued.
Oh.
They sued to get him out.
Yikes.
And
we don't even want money.
Yeah.
yeah.
We just want our privacy, please. We just want this to remain.
Like, they just want him to like stop walking around with boners in his leotards, because that's kind of what was
There's men
happening.
that are going to prison and doing the same thing in the women's prison. Like,
Yeah,
why are they allowing this? So crazy.
I don't know. Not in Lorena Bobbitt's prison. No, ma'am. I mean, sir, or whatever. No person. No, not in Lorena Bobbitt's prison, because she's just like, she'd rally the girls.
I'm convinced that these outlandish stories come forward. There's like 4 of them now, just to like drum up this trans drama. Like, I think that people just want to be passable, and most people are passable, and I just feel like they're trying to push some agenda. They're trying to like stir up hate or something.
For sure, because there's two types of people that I guess would have gender dysphoria, whatever you want to call it, technical term.
Right.
Is like people that are like have a legitimate issue and they are trying to like blend in, definitely not put a spotlight on themselves. And then those that are just like, I'm gonna do something really outlandish. I'm gonna take this to another level, and then see if I can figure out a way to get into a sorority.
Yeah.
Why not?
I
And
saw
just
it-
fucking
I saw
wreck
it.
their world. And it's like, the thing to me is like the destructive, like it's so destructive, because there's just this dude, because I have no respect for him. Like, he's obviously not for real. This dude, and then there's a male judge. Like, I love this. Like two men, two males, just like wreaking havoc on females, on female culture. When does it end? Where does it end? Like it's like these girls just want to have a sorority house where they can not have a dude walking around with a boner.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all. And it's
Boy, I
like,
tell you
and it's
what,
like
if my daughter
this
was in that
guy,
sorority house,
yeah,
somebody would be handling it, that's for sure.
this guy's just like, nope, nope, no, you can't do that. And the judge, who's supposed to be this learned, man of the law, with wisdom, the judge is just like, nah, don't think you have that right.
That's crazy.
Look at him, look at him. Like,
Ugh.
next thing you know, he's going to sue because they weren't
Yes.
nice. You know what I mean? They like making fun of his boner all the time and like, making him feel bad
Making him
about
feel
it.
Uncomfortable. Yeah.
Making him feel bad that as a trans woman, he was still becoming aroused by all these, chicks walking around in their underwear.
Yeah.
It's like, and he's going to get paid. It's insane. It's really insane. But I mean,
It's upside down. The world is on fire. Literally,
but it's crazy.
It's on fire.
But it's like, I don't know what, 40, 50, 60, maybe more women, maybe more in this sorority, and all just two dudes, two fucking assholes, just like, nope.
Ruining, what do they call it?
Yeah.
Pledge Week or not Fleet Week. What do they call it?
I really would like to have been there when the first day, when it's like all the people that did this thing online show up and they're just like, what?
What just happened?
Like, is this really? Oh, and then, at least one of the girls in the sororities just like saw it all happening. Just like, oh my God, this is going to be, we're going to be famous and this is going to be bad. But don't worry.
Famous.
Don't worry though. We're going to take it to the courts. No, first we're going to take it to our national organization and they're going to help us. They didn't. They're like, F off.
On your own.
Yeah, you're on your own. And then they're like, don't worry though. We're going to take it to the courts, the legal system where, good, wise, learned people, will help us and see the absurdity of the situation. It's like, nope, no can do.
Surprise,
you got to keep them.
That's your sister.
And then it's like, and if you all decide to like, you're not allowed to shun this person, like you can't, like they probably,
You'll be labeled anti-LGBTQ.
Yeah. Like, don't try to move and not tell the person, because that's what they're probably thinking. Like, what if we just move? What if we just change the locks? Like, the judge is probably like, judge is like, don't even think about changing the locks. All right. This isn't my first time destroying the lives of women, of course.
Yeah, of course. He's a judge. Yeah.
That's what was crazy to me. It's like, man, the insane narcissism of the initial toxic dude just wreaking havoc. And then the judge just like, gonna let it continue.
Like, yeah. Have fun,
let's
sir.
let it slide.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Like, sorry.
Tax dollars at work.
See, you wouldn't want to be you.
Yeah.
Like, it would be, I would be pretty bummed if that happened to my daughter's sorority, but it's not. So
oops.
Best of luck.
Yeah.
I
mean, and that's what I think those girls should do. I think that they should not be in that sorority. Sororities make money, right? Don't they give money to the
Yeah, but it's like, they should have,
or strike or something.
I guess or do some, but everything is set up to where they can't really win, right? Because if they're like, well, we're not going to pay our dues, and the national organization's just like, okay, well, our contractors will be there in the morning to take your signs down.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think you're going to do? We have, we have a team of lawyers here. You're a sophomore in college, It's
I guess
nuts.
we'll have more and more and more of these stories, I guess. I mean, seems like.
Yeah. It's
I mean, you had that guy that was in jail that was like talking to his dad, and he was like, yeah, and then I'm gonna tell him that I'm trans and then they're gonna put me in the ladies' prison. And his dad was like, okay. Like, they're like, I just don't understand how they're like.
Yeah. Well, like,
if we just don't care about women.
it's just like the man and woman, the dynamic there where they feel like they can't do anything. I mean, because if a dude just starts walking into a group, like there's just a group of guys in a club group for fraternity, whatever, and it's just like everything's just kind of normal, and then someone comes in and just starts acting. There's no I'm not going to make an analogy, but just someone comes in and just starts acting abhorrently absurd for given the situation. Like the dudes are just going to be like, like it's going to get physical at some point.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like maybe, the law gets involved, but it's going to get physical to where like it's physically going to be stopped from happening. Like physically just not going to let you in.
Yeah.
Physically.
Women are conditioned from a young age, though, that when they're uncomfortable by a man, that they adjust themselves so that they don't feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, you're right. That's just a switch, or I don't know. Yeah, just a kind of a natural thing. For whatever, because of our culture, because of our society, because of just the physical differences between this dude that's just a lot bigger than all of them. So, like you've seen the pictures.
Yeah. It's
like it would take several of them to like get this guy down.
Oh yeah,
several of them.
Yeah.
So and when I say that, I'm saying it as a statement. I'm also saying it as a suggestion.
Right. Like, yeah. Ladies, if you're listening,
go to the soda machine, get a pillowcase, go to the soda machine with a bunch of change. I forget what that show. What was that movie called? The prison movie with the kid. I think Sean Penn was in that movie. What was that movie called? Sean Penn was in it. I think they were in like juvie or prison, and like he just put a bunch of soda cans in a pillowcase and they just beat the crap out of somebody with it. I forget what that movie was called.
Wait, was that The Green Mile? Was he?
No. This movie was like from the late 70s, early 80s, maybe.
I don't know. Wheelhouse.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that.
I did
watch Oz. On prison show.
Too much. I'll pass on that.
Yeah, there was it's like by episode 4, season 1, I'd seen like 57 dudes get anally raped. It's like, man, I think I'm gonna like, what's on Skinamax? I'm gonna check out Showtime or Cinemax. I don't think Star. I think it was just 3 at the time. I'm gonna even check. I'm just gonna see what's on channel 13. Yeah, that was. I was like, man, that's something else.
Yeah.
I also,
but it goes my whole thing of like one of my top 3 goals in life was just never go to prison.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good one.
Good that you're still sticking to it, man.
I was reinforced that big time.
What were you gonna say, Manny?
I was taken aback. I could only imagine, how weird the women felt when I felt this weird. When I walked into the gym today after my workout session, I saw this old man just, buck naked, just toweling himself. I was like, was not expecting to see that today. Don't need to see old man, dong. No, thank you.
In the locker room, I guess.
Part of the gym.
Yeah, in the locker room. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It was a bit too like. Me personally, if I have to change to the locker room, I'm doing it as quickly as possible. If I have to towel myself off, I'm toweling off as quickly as possible. This guy was like super comfortable, just taking his time, doing like spreading like super long, It's like, bro, just I don't know.
Yeah, it's like the Adam Carolla thing. Like, I'm not sure if I kind of respect your carefree attitude, or if I just hate your guts for making me look at your wang. Your old ass wang for a split second. Like, come on.
Split second.
Like, you should at least have a beeper on. You know what I mean? Like, so when you walk in the locker room, if you hear someone beeping, it's like there's wangs out.
It's the wang beeper.
Keep your eyes up. Eyes up, gentlemen.
Oh yeah, it's the worst part of the gym is having to see other people naked. The ladies like to wear the towel around their waist, and it's just like
really flopping all over the place.
I've never taken my clothes off at the gym. Like, I'll shower at home. Thank you. I'm good.
What kind of like what what else do you say? Like what can you go into more detail? I mean, I've never been in one before.
Good. It's never good.
It's been a long time since I've seen Porky's.
No, it's never good.
Wait, I had
Never
to
good.
ask since we're on the topic. How women always have like a couch or shade lounge or something in the bathroom. Is there like a couch or a sofa in the women's locker room at
Oh,
the gym?
hell yeah. They had a big old lounge area. They had a separate ladies sauna,
Uh huh.
like a set in the bathroom, like so that they don't have to sit with the men in the other hot box. You got
Okay.
own like a lady hot box in there. Yeah. Yeah, it was nice.
Hmm.
It was nice. I'm not a
Sounds
member anymore.
delightful.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea. I'm gonna stick to my
Mm.
at
That's what I
home
said.
stuff.
Yeah, I feel that.
Sounds like a very relaxing environment.
Yeah. Well, you know how you can get in.
Just
Yeah.
identify as a dude, as
I
a
need to
woman, and
move.
you're
I need to
set.
move to the Pacific Northwest.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's calling you, bro. You got to keep the Pacific PNW weird, man.
Oh,
Crazy.
Hey, so what's up with this kid that was like that had a "Don't Tread on Me" flag or backpack or some shit?
oh yeah. Oh, I love this story. I love it.
What's all that about? Because I've been out of the loop.
There's a kid at a school, public school in Colorado, and he has a backpack, and he's a nerd, but I guess he's a smart one.
Wait, are
'Cause
you
he-
implying that nerds aren't smart?
Well, he like
'Cause
dresses
what are
in
you
like
saying?
khakis and button-down shirts every day, but his backpack's got some stickers on it. One is a "Don't Tread on Me" patch, the Gadsden flag "Don't Tread on Me"
Right.
patch. It's from Revolutionary times, so it's been used. You know, that's where it originated.
Right.
Again, and it was like against loyalists or against the crown. Like it was an American thing, American patriot thing. So he got called into the office and he got kicked out of class, suspended from class because of this patch. So his mom, who must be, with it, she recorded the meeting with the administrator, educator, in air quotes, educator, who just lost it, just lost the battle. Just, I've almost felt sorry for her because just her whole, she just was like the poster woman for America's worst just idiotic educators who were just punching in, punching out, following the rules, goose stepping on down the line, railroading your damn kids,
Making stuff up.
just making up things like, oh my.
That flag represents slavery. What? What does it do?
And she wasn't even saying, she was like saying that's what she wasn't saying it. She was like, that's what we're saying it. It was like a weird, it wasn't her opinion. Just that's what she was saying, that the rules say that it was had to do with associated with slavery. It's like, well, like wasn't like, like chain, like there's a lot of stuff like that was like,
Yeah.
so it was like ships and water, like no ships anymore, like can't have ships. It's like it's just, so she's stupid and she's just repeating what her bosses told her, what the manual said, just has no care. And she looked just so defeated the whole time. But she wouldn't give. She was just like, well, that's the rule. That's the rules. And they did an about face in 24 hours after that video came out. He was at school the next day and he made a video saying some of the teachers were giving him dirty looks.
Yeah.
Because he just like destroyed their profession. Like I would be very embarrassed if I taught at that school.
He said he was interviewed by one of those political people on Instagram, and he said that if he was old enough, he would vote for Trump because Trump can ride a bike. I swear.
Do with anything. I'm sorry. What did I miss with Trump riding a bike?
When Joe Biden fell down.
Oh, gotcha.
He like rolled up at the intersection to talk to a reporter and just went right over.
Joe Biden's been through so much, I totally forgot about the bike incident.
Yeah, the little kid was salty. It's cute. I like it.
They do need to put like I think they need to start putting presidents through some kind of obstacle course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like maybe like even just the obstacle course they put like a dog through, at the American Kennel Club. Like there's no big ramps, no like horse, like steeplechase jumps. Just like
Yeah.
we want to see you walk up this ramp and walk down the ramp. We want to see you bend over and pick up this fluffy toy
Yep.
and carry it over here and put it in a basket. We'd like you to see you, like be able to get through this hula hoop we have hanging here. Like, it's not a big deal. You have to do it fast, but we just want to see that you can like get your body through a hula hoop hole. Like just,
It's good.
I don't know. There was a video of Trump recent, like I think just from this week playing golf, where he's like used his golf club to pick up the golf ball and flung the ball up in the air and caught it with one hand, which is like not a difficult thing to do at all for most people. But someone posted it saying, like, could Joe Biden like use his putter to pick up a golf ball and fling it up in the air? Like, cause that's what like almost any golfer could do that. And it's like,
he can't even carry his own beach chair.
Yeah.
He's not doing well. He's really not. It's really sad. It's horrible. We shouldn't treat a president like that. We shouldn't, it's wrong. It's wrong.
I don't know what they're going to do. I don't put anything past these people. They're going to swap him out at some point. Yeah. Like I was saying before, like every week more is coming.
Yeah,
it's just going to be tough. But if another theory is that like he's got to run for president and stick in there like his life depends on it.
Because it literally does.
Or his son's life depends on it.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, if I'm Hunter Biden, I'm just like, I hope my dad wins because these people do not like me at all. Like
maybe
I
the
don't
Coke
like
was
these
left for Joe.
people. These people don't like my art.
Uncultured swine.
Like, yeah, they're not. These are not the kind of people that are going to buy my art. These are the kind of people that can be doing art on a napkin in a cell. Like as soon as they're in charge, like they're just going to be coming after me like something else. Like I'd be real worried.
Wild times we are living in.
I'd be going to one of those countries where one of those shell companies is set up. One of those countries.
Lay low.
Hope we can find the offshore money. Hopefully,
yeah. My name is Gunter Bryden.
That's right, Gunter.
Yeah.
Gunter.
I'm from the Ukraine.
Yes.
I mean, no shit.
Anybody? I'm just kind of starting to dislike Ukrainians. I feel bad about it, but I'm just starting to dislike them.
What do they ever do to you, Christopher?
I don't know. They're just taking all my kids' money and taking my grandkids' money. No, it's like I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it's not fair because they're not really in control.
Yeah.
But I think if we did look at Ukraine, it's like Russia light. It's like it's not like once you cross the border, like everybody's like all of a sudden like pro-gay marriage,
right.
Like, Russian side totally against it, illegal. Ukrainian side all for it, all for rainbow flags. And on the Ukrainian side, you step over there, rainbow flags, synagogues.
Watch out.
Synagogues everywhere. They love folks from Israel in Ukraine. Oh boy. They are totally down. Like you cross the Russia, totally homogenous culture. Cross the border in Ukraine, diversity out the wazoo. Diversity everywhere. Right? Like I think that's how it works.
No.
Or no, it doesn't. They're pretty much kind of like they were buddies until the world powers got together and be like, you guys are enemies now.
Because we said so.
You guys are enemies for a couple of years. But you'll be able to commingle and have pretty much the same culture soon enough. Don't worry.
Oh, well, that is a depressing end to a Friday night, sir.
Well,
yeah.
We could go talk about Oprah.
Oh.
Would it make you feel better to talk shit about Oprah for a little while?
Why not? Let's wrap it up with some Oprah shit talking. And
I mean,
what did she do, or has she done anything? I'm not really sure she's done anything. Or
her and The Rock started a foundation, like a GoFundMe for Maui, to like put the money directly into the people's hands. And
is that good? Is that good? I don't know. Is it?
I know it's got millions of views, but they've
good.
only raised around $7,000 So it kind of tells me that
I
people
thought they
aren't
put
buying
in,
Oprah shit anymore.
I thought they put in $10 million. What?
I know, but what the people have raised, like the amount that it's
Oh.
been raised, their initial whatever, but the amount that people have put in, they're like not giving Oprah any money. There's a lot of GoFundMe's for Hawaii. Like there's a lot of separate accounts. I think people are catching on that maybe they don't have to give celebrities all their money when they ask for it.
I guess it's going to be it's going to be kind of like, this is very difficult because I don't know what the percentages are of like home and land ownership there.
Yeah.
You know, because I've seen people like, you know, in those videos where they're just talking about, you know, they lost their home, they lost everything, they lived there for 20 years, and it's like, and then in the next sentence they'll be like, my rent money was in the house, like something like, it's just, and it wasn't really their house, maybe they were renting it from somebody, or it's like apartment buildings, or, you know, larger houses cut up into, you know, multiple apartments, whatever units.
Yeah.
So like people that didn't really own in the first place, so now it's like, I don't know. Yeah, it's great. I don't know. Yeah.
Sad.
I mean, there's, all I know is like, if we're just gonna keep giving, you know, tens of billions of dollars to other countries. I saw that we gave $150 million, which is chump change in Ukraine talk, but like $150 million to the country of Jordan to help with their border security. It's like,
I know we were so solvent to give out loans like that.
Whose borders are just like, they're just like,
you know what we should
you
do?
Get border
Abolish
funding.
borders.
You get border funding. You get border funding. It's like Oprah for border funding going on. Like, look under your seat, border funding. That was just a random one I saw. Like, just someone pointed out like $150 million just to Jordan, which I don't even know where the hell it is, but I mean, you know, it's not Hawaii. I'm not sure who really wants those borders over there in the desert, but it's like
Hawaii
to help
actually
them.
didn't get some of the funding because they tried to throw in Ukraine money into the Hawaii money. So the whole thing got
And I guess every time I talk about this and it's frustrating, it's like, well, the whole gig is that we just give them this money and then they just spend it on our stuff. Like they take that $150 million and they buy border security equipment and weapons and technology from the United States and companies that are in on it, basically. So it's like, that's why they do it. And it kind of props up our country to keep doing that all the time. But it's like, man, I wonder if we can just keep printing money for him. Maybe we can. Be pretty sweet. Be a pretty sweet deal if I just wish I could, get a turn. Like, give me like 5 minutes on the money printing machine. Like,
right.
And like, I'll just bring like a duffel bag and maybe a couple suitcases. Mm-hmm. That's all. 5 minutes. Well,
of you.
I guess, yeah. I said that's like, if we're doing all that, it's like, man, we really should be able to we should just be able to hook people up. Mm-hmm. Or, if you were there,
more
you're
than
affected.
$700,
like
more than $700.
Yeah, you're gonna get, I don't know, a free mortgage, or I don't know, like, I don't like giving stuff out for free, but it's like, if you're doing all these other things, it's like, you can't like, there's at least a guarantee this person that lives there like a 1% home loan. So they can,
the suicide rate is skyrocketing over there. Like they're literally, they're hopeless. It's so sad when you hear that, like that 7 people killed themselves in one day in Lahaina. Like, I
mean, it's a flip side to living in paradise, and living on an island where you're far away from all the bullshit, all the, you're not going to get, there's no streets filled with trank users, like zombies bent over, like there are in Philadelphia. But it's like, the flip side, if things go bad, like you don't really have the next town to go to. And if you do go to the next town, you are leaving your heritage behind. It's like, I can't imagine. That's really,
so
I've moved like major to like totally different city and state twice in my life. So it's like, it's kind of a luxury. It was pretty easy, but if you're Hawaiian, you live there, it's like,
it's hard to get on and off too. It's not It's
Yeah.
just
Or
everything's
even
really a mess over there.
even if you went from like working at Lahaina to like now you had to move to the Big Island and like work in Honolulu, where it's practically a big city, you know.
That's what my son had to do. He's in Honolulu now. He had to, and they couldn't
Yeah.
move, they couldn't ship their furniture. So, they had to get rid of everything and start over again because they couldn't ship their furniture there. So they started with
Yeah. How
just
do you,
their
yeah, like moving is
cats.
a whole nother, yeah. Yeah.
So wild.
Moving. Yeah. Moving like just,
And they're young, it's fine. They have no roots there. Those people that have roots there, like I can't even imagine what
yeah.
that must be like,
Yeah.
just so sad. And then to have, really no help and they're not letting them in. They put up this big fence, like they're calling it a dust screen because they don't want the dust from the cleanup to get to the whatever, but they put up this dust screen. So now
Yeah.
they can't even go in and search through their own homes to see if maybe their grandma's ring made it, or you know what I mean? Like they're not letting people into like their own places. It's wild. Sad.
Yeah. I don't, maybe something fishy's going on, or maybe something is like, just like they don't have the infrastructure, the number of people
Right.
to control it, to like stop people from looting jewelry, because if there's one person that's just like my grandmother's ring, there's like, 50, POSs, maybe not there. There's only 10 there.
It does seem like a different
that are like, I'm going to go
environment of
sift through the
people.
sand or rubble and see if I can find something.
It seems like a different type of people. I mean, I guess that aloha is like a real thing. I've never been to Hawaii, so I don't know, but it seems like it's a real different environment, really,
Yeah.
amongst the locals, not maybe the landlords and stuff. My son's landlord told somebody that it's not her fault that, they're out of jobs. And it's like, okay, but we have to leave because we don't have a job anymore, Ugh, horrible.
I mean, if you're the landlord and your tenants are people that worked at the restaurants and the restaurants just are gone, it's like you're just as effed as almost just as effed. I mean, you'll probably get a bigger payday because you can sell out or
maybe rent the place to the people that need a place to rent. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to rebuild that.
I said to a coworker yesterday or today, I was like, I could, like just freaking commandeer a damn cruise ship. You know what I mean? Like there's got to be like a Carnival ship that wasn't going to do so well, or like we had like the hospital ship that went to New York City during pandemic or something. It's like, why is it a fleet there? Like, okay, I get it. You can only fly so much on a plane, but it's like, why isn't there a fleet? Like, why isn't there like
some tankers,
older cruise ship that was about to be decommissioned that isn't like getting fired back up and like, hey, shave $1 billion off of Ukraine and crank up a cruise ship and like feed all these people, and while another ship comes in with a shit ton of materials, while another ship comes in with a bunch of excavators and bulldozers and starts getting to work.
From your mouth to God's ears, Christopher.
It could be done.
And it's also like, well, maybe that's the problem. It's not that many people, but I'm thinking like, there's really not that many people. Like, it's not like Philadelphia burned down and it's like, oh shit, there's like,
they're not talking about
like 2 million people to take care of. Like, it's like,
they're not talking about the missing people still. You know what I mean? Like all the missing kids, they're not, it's so weird that there's nobody. I haven't seen one parent like saying, where's my kid? Or I haven't seen one relative saying my uncle's missing. Like there are missing people, but no one is like searching for them. It's so weird. I don't know if it's being suppressed or just weird. I haven't seen anything.
I guess I trust. I have to assume that this 1,000 or whatever is like an official list, and people have actually like every single one has been verified as a person that is alive, was alive 2 weeks ago, and like, is it really that? And then I don't know. I think the people have not gotten a lot of good information. But it could also be that that the government of Maui, police, whatever, public relations were just, no, that really were not equipped for it at all.
Right. Yes.
Because, you know, you see, like, because, I don't know. They just weren't prepared, obviously weren't prepared, weren't trained, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it seems like the government's a little bit hinky. Like there's two different sides or whatever, like something about the water, and it just seems like it's a clusterfuck over there. Beforehand, before the fires, it seems like it was maybe a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
So.
All right, let's wrap up with something funny real quick. I want to, I hope it is. I want to talk and expand more so that it's officially copyrighted. I'm going to record this and mail it to you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so that's officially copyrighted if you mail somebody your idea. That's what I learned when I was young and on sitcoms.
Okay. Yeah.
But the television show I invented. No, I'm not talking about intervention punked style. I'm punked version. I'm talking about the People's Petty Court.
Okay.
You know, like when you're like your friends are like bragging or being real boastful, saying, you know, just make outrageous claims. Like our boy Jaden's, like he was talking about Oliver Anthony. He was talking about how he could name 1,000 singer-songwriters that deserve a contract before him. And I was like, I want you to name all 1,000. I want you to name all 1,000 of them right now. It's like, you know, like you have friends, like even myself, I've made some ridiculous claims, but it's like when your friends can be like, I'm taking you to court. It's legally binding.
Yeah.
Damn it.
You know, it's like even your buddy's like, yeah, man, like been with so many women, like, oh, you know, probably whatever. You know, it's like, okay. You've said this 5 times now. Taking you to court. You're gonna have to produce names. They're gonna have to come up as witnesses. Sorry, ladies, but yeah, this is how it's gonna work.
Petty
or
court.
if you, or your friend's bragging about how he dumped this chick, whatever, and you're just like, I don't believe you. I don't believe. Like she is way hotter than you. You know, like I don't believe you. Way better looking. So you're just like taking you to court. So you legally get her side of the story.
Uh-huh.
I like it.
I like where your head's at, but I feel like because just on title alone, the People's Petty Court, I feel like a lot of these cases would be tainted from the get-go, or suspect.
What if we got Tom Petty sitting in as honorary? You know how they get celebrity judges?
That's the only way it would work, I guess. Yeah. I'm down. I can, other names is fine, but just think about that because it's funny. Everybody's got that friend that just, tells some outrageous stories. About how many cops there were, or like how many this, or how many beers, and it's like, oh, you drank 18 beers last night. Yeah, okay.
And you're not hungover? All right.
Guess what? I got 18 beers right here. Whatever. It's like, oh, you drank 48 beers in one day. Okay. Here's 48 beers. Let's start a chugging. and it's like, if you die, it's like, well, sorry, this is a court officiated.
This court sanctioned.
Yeah, court sanctioned. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
This is for science.
Yeah.
Good. I like it.
But you can all think about that. We can talk about intervention punked next week.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Be sure that you send that in the mail though, because otherwise people can steal this idea.
That's true. Yeah.
This would have been big on MTV like 20 years ago. This show, this idea.
Oh yeah.
Well, now I could live on YouTube, man. We'll even reach more people.
Like it.
Yeah.
All right.
Happy Friday, you guys.
Yeah, happy Friday, everybody.
Get it on, everybody. Do what you want.
Yeah, get it on. Do what you want.
Get it on. Do what I want.
Yep.